Hey, this is Renee and welcome to my own little world. It's time for week 2 of Peachtober, so let's just get into it. Like I did for Peachtober week 1, I am using my Pigma Micron fine liners, my Van Gogh watercolor set, some Sakura fillable brushes and some Posca pens. And the prompt for day 8 was crown, and I just had to draw the legendary pictures of Taeyong wearing that beautiful red crown, and I really like how this one turned out. I really like the way his hair looks and kind of how he's peeking through his hair, and I also really liked the color scheme that I ended up going with, and the bright red of the crown was also something that I really liked. And for all of the other drawings that I did so far, I had a background color, but because the drawing overall is pretty colorful by itself, I decided to skip a background color this time. And this is the end result for day 8, crown. On to day 9. And this day was thunder, and I had kind of a hard time thinking of something that is BTS but also thunder related, and then my mind went to the tattoo that V had with the On era, and I know that it's supposed to be poison, but it also reminded me of thunder because it has that same kind of look to it. So I know it's maybe a bit far-fetched, but I went and made a drawing of it anyway. And I know that I did 2 Taeyongs in a row, but I don't normally draw him much, so I didn't mind drawing him more days, multiple days after each other. And for this drawing, I really liked the shading that I did with his skin color. And this is the finished result. On to day 10. And for day 10, the prompt was frog. And my mind immediately went to those cute frog kind of bandana thingies that Jungkook and Taeyong wore in one of the Run BTS episodes, and I just had to draw that like iconic picture of them sitting back to back to each other in a theme park ride basically. And I know that the faces aren't super detailed, but I kind of like that about this drawing. In this drawing I wanted to focus more on the details of the fabric of their shirts and their jackets than like on details of their faces. And maybe that's because I normally draw portraits, so it was kind of out of my comfort zone to really put more focus on like the jackets and the arms, and because I'm not just drawing a face like I normally do. And then it's time to color it in with my watercolors. With the kind of black paint and the gray paints that I use in most of my paintings / drawings, I have to keep in mind that I don't go too dark, because for some reason my paper doesn't really like that very well, so I have to use those colors in moderation. And after adding some details, we're done with day 10. I really like how the green background turned out. On to day 11. And I just had to have an excuse to draw this particular picture, because I wanted to use this picture as a drawing reference for a while now, and since day 11 is gold, my mind immediately went to our golden maknae, and so I was so excited to do this piece because, I mean, like I said, I really wanted to draw this picture and now I got the chance. And I really love how this one turned out, to be honest. I really like the shading that I did with his skin color, and I really like how his hand kind of peeks out the canvas, and overall I am just very happy with the result of this piece, and I had so much fun with drawing it. And because the prompt is gold, I decided to add some gold details on his hand tattoos. And then it's time for day 12. And the prompt for day 12 was honey, and my mind immediately went to gin. And at first it was very hard for me to choose what I wanted to do, but I mean, Jin is such a sweet guy and he loves food and he loves different kinds of tastes. So I wanted to draw Jin kind of tasting honey on his finger. And I really liked this reference photo that I used for it because I really like how his hair is all fluffy. I really wanted to incorporate that into this piece. And even though my skin color turned out a lot more muddy than I wanted to, I still really like the end result, and I also really like the details of the honeycomb in the background. On to day 13, and for Jimin's birthday I had to draw Jimin, and luckily I was able to fit it into the prompt because the prompt of the day was treasure, and I mean, this sweet boy is a treasure, so it fits perfectly with the prompt. And I wanted to draw his great and cheeky smile that he always has, and I had a lot of fun working on his face. Like I said, I normally draw portraits a lot, so this was right up my alley, and I really had a lot of fun shading in his face and his hair. And for the background I went with yellow because that reminded me of serendipity, and after adding some details we're done. And it's time for day 14, and the prompt for this day was Scout, and I kind of had to combine my reference pictures for this one. I wanted to draw Namjoon because he really reminds me of being one with nature like scouts are. I actually used to be a scout when I was younger, so this was right up my alley. And as another reference picture I used a picture of NCT Dream because they had their scout outfits on at some point, and I tried to combine those two pictures, and this is the outcome. I really had to go in lightly with the colors because the color of the uniform is pretty soft and pale. And unfortunately I didn't really like how his face ended up looking because it really got a bit muddy, but I still thought that it was a good exercise for me. And I added one more day to make sure that I have 4 Peachtober videos, and for this day the prompt was toast, and we can always count on Yoongi to have a very cute looking reference picture. And I took this reference picture from the Love Yourself Her photo shoot, and I put on a toast kind of looking headpiece, and this drawing was born. And I really like how he looks so pouty and cute, and I did want to incorporate his red sweater into here, but I decided to change his hair color because so far for all my drawings I have used kind of neutral or natural hair colors, and I wanted to do that for this piece too. But to keep in the blue, I decided to make the background blue. And as always, I really love shading in the face, and I had a lot of fun working on this piece. And that's it for week 2. I will see you next week. I hope you liked this video. Stay hydrated, stay tuned, and until my next video, bye!